Good morning, everyone, and welcome. And thank you for joining our celebration of International Women's Day. We've got quite a group here, and I'm so excited to see everyone. We have a number of women from Asia that are joining us, from Bangladesh, India. We have someone joining us from Germany, I believe, and several from the US. So we're very excited to have you all participate with us today. And we are recording the call so that we can share it with our donors and others that couldn't make it this morning. So fair warning there. So I'm Nancy Jernigan, for those that don't know me, and I'm the Executive Director of Partners in Sustainable Development International for just over 7 years now. And I feel truly blessed to have this opportunity to serve the beautiful people of Bangladesh. I've been working in the nonprofit field for 35 years, and I'm so amazed and proud of the impact our donors have had on the families we serve in Bangladesh. Not just the immediate impact, but for generations to come. It's really astounding and makes me very, very proud to be part of it. And then I became aware that there was an International Women's Day. And I thought, well, we have to be a part of that because it's an opportunity for us to highlight the achievements of the women we serve and take a minute to be grateful for the opportunity to connect with them through the work of PSDI. Bangladesh is halfway around the world. So it's pretty amazing that we can connect in this way and celebrate each other and all that we've done and all that we've yet to do. So we're going to share with you during the next 45 or 15 minutes the many ways that Bangladesh women are becoming empowered in general, and some specific stories of the women that we have served and have been impacted by our work and our donors' generous contributions. So please feel free to ask questions along the way, put them in the chat, and I'll do my best to keep up with them. And we'll have some time at the end to answer your questions. So for those of you that aren't familiar with PSDI, we're a nonprofit located in the U.S. That was established in 2004 specifically to raise funds for our sister organization, Poverty Eradication Program, or PEP. Our team developed a holistic model of poverty eradication through years of serving the extreme poor and understanding that they need everything, so many needs in order to be self-sufficient. They just need a hand up from someone. And we're proud to have been that hand up for 67,572 families who are now experiencing the pride of self-sufficiency. And there's a lot more on our website. So please, if you haven't already, take a minute to check out our website at psdintl.org. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Some great pictures, some great photos, some great stories. So check out our social media as well. Like us, follow us, do all those things. Many of the families that our folks in Bangladesh have identified as being extreme poor are headed by women, naturally. So our work is focused on serving them. Thanks to our loyal donors, we've been sending somewhere between $200,000 and $300,000 every year to Bangladesh, to PEP, to do their great work. Many of the team over there have been with the organization for 10 or more years. So they're experienced, they're transparent. We talk to them just about every day. We exchange emails. I ask a lot of questions. They always have the answers. We're so proud of them and the work that they're doing. And they are too. And they see the gratitude every day from the families that we impact. So we're excited this morning to have two women with us that have much knowledge of how empowering women in Bangladesh is truly matters. Dr. Pinky Shah lives in Bangladesh. Thanks. It's 9 p.m. there, I believe. So thank you, Dr. Shah. And she joined our PEP board there in Bangladesh last year. So we're very proud to have her as part of our team officially. And she will explain more about her background in just a minute. And then Dr. Raheen Farzana is from Bangladesh, now living in South Carolina, and is a member of our PSDI board of directors, as you can see by her very cool shirt. I'm so grateful for these two women for giving of themselves to improve the lives of others. Thank you, ladies, so much for your time and your passion. So first, I'm going to welcome Dr. Raheen Farzana. She came to the U.S. To earn her master's and PhD degrees. Her dissertation was on the use of microcredit to empower women in Bangladesh, and I've asked her to share a bit more about her background and what she's learned. Thanks, Raheen.
Thank you, Nancy. So yes, I'm working as an assistant professor at Converse University, South Carolina. And before that, I finished my PhD from Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, Illinois. And before that, I did my MBA from Southeast Missouri State University. So before I come to US, I came here in 2014. Before coming here, I was also worked as a faculty in two different universities in Bangladesh, University of Liberal Arts Bangladesh, where I met Dr. Pinky Shah there, and we were colleagues for a couple of years. And now we become more than colleague, like a friend. And another university, Independent University, Bangladesh. So I did my first master's from University of Dhaka in finance and banking. So I used to teach finance and accounting and banking in Bangladesh. Then when I came here, I moved to entrepreneurship and then human resource management. So now I teach human resource management, all these tough courses, compensation and benefit, and then diversity and inclusion, and of course, HR. So that's about me. And I met Nancy in a day like today, because she invited me to go to St. Louis and give a speech about International Women's Day. So on that day, I met her. So it's maybe 4 or 5 years back, because exactly the same date. Okay, and then I told her that I'm doing research on women entrepreneurs, like rural women entrepreneurs from Bangladesh and microfinancing. So today I'd like to share some part of my research. Okay, so that you will understand now women are how successfully they are running their business with the help of microfinancing. So I'd like to share the slide. And please let me know if you have any question. Maybe at the end of the session, we will discuss about that. And I try to make it simple, but as you know, as a researcher, we can't always make all these things simple. But this is my research, microfinancing and entrepreneurial success of females in Bangladesh, a role congruity theory perspective. So we need to know about what's microfinancing, because it's a very small credit amount, small amount of loan. Can you think when it started, our Nobel laureate, Bangladeshi Nobel laureate, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, in 1976. So he thought that if women can get some money, needy women who doesn't have anything to keep as collateral, So because usually the normal bank, they take something for collateral and give the loan. So they don't have anything, but they need money to do something for their family to survive. So he distributed $27 to 42 females. So you cannot imagine, like less than $1, they started their business. Okay, so and it was very successful because these women are really wanted to do something. So they started their own business with the help of with the guidance of Dr. Mohammad Yunus and his other members. So he built this bank, Grameen Bank, in 1983 and started this microfinancing, like in a formal way to give them loan and rescue these rural, really needy women to do something to from their poverty. Okay, so most of these the customers, like 96% customers of Grameen Bank are female, because they think that female are immobile. They will not take the money and go somewhere else because they want to do something for their kids, for their family. And like a small business like poultry or cattle business or vegetables, something like that, they start with that. And that's why, as they are really doing their business, their loan recovery rate is 98%. So in Bangladesh, the gender ratio male-female is 50%, but and 84% of people lives in rural area. Bangladesh is an agricultural country. And so these women, the entrepreneurs, they are really a big part of the economic development of Bangladesh. So they are taking this loan because they want to overcome their poverty and become independent. But they face lots of barriers like cultural, financial, then there are some religious barriers and social barriers. Maybe I'll discuss a bit more later. So just a bit about role congruity theory, because it's this theory of prejudice towards female leaders. It proposes that perceived incongruity between the female gender role and leadership role leads to two forms of prejudice. There were prejudice like perceiving women less favorably than men as potential occupants of leadership roles, and evaluating behavior that fulfills the prescriptions of a leader role less favorably when it is enacted by a woman. So it has two consequences. So attitudes are less positive toward female than male, like in a leadership role. And again, it's very difficult for a woman to become a leader and to achieve success in this role. So this congruity, this is the match between the entrepreneurial role and gender role, and incongruity, that is mismatch or lack of fit. So we need, from this research, we have try to understand, is there congruity or incongruity? So like in 2019, when I went to Bangladesh to collect this data for my research, I went to different rural areas from 5 different, like there are a couple of districts here. In US, we call it state, and there are 50 states and Washington, DC, but there, like we call it district. Okay, so like Dhaka, that's the capital of Bangladesh, that's a district. So I went to a couple of districts and in the very rural area of those districts to collect data from that rural female those rural female entrepreneurs who started their business with the help of microfinance from Grameen Bank. So I had a intense face-to-face interview with them, and like it took half an hour or more for one lady. And I discussed with them, like I asked them lots of open-ended questions to gather actual information from them, how they started and what are the phases and what are the difficulties they face and everything. So that's why within it took almost a month, but I collected information from 34% participants. So you can see that there are, I went to village from Dhaka, Tangail, Gajipur, Manikganj, Kumilla. I'm just naming this, I'm telling this name so that you'll get to know that there are like Dhaka and other places are there. So these ladies, this is not about like young or aged or something, because they are doing business like from, some of them are very young, some of them are very aged. So there is a big age range. Okay, and most of them, like all of them are married, one of them are widow. And you know, Bangladesh is a Muslim country, so there are like 90% people are Muslim. So from these participants, 94% were Muslim, and one of them was Hindu. And you know, uh, a very interesting thing about Bangladesh, if you can just write down your name, you know, like you can sign your name, that means you are a literate person. By that way, we count literacy rate in Bangladesh, because like if you can just count and write down your name, and then you are, that's why like 1/4 of these participants, they can just write down their name, signature. So we can say all of them are literate people. They know how to count money, how to do business, and they have like, you know, experience. They are very experienced. Okay. And like they are not book smart, but you can say they are like road smart. They know how to deal with people. And as I said, they do very small businesses. They start with a very small business like room renting. So room renting, that was very interesting. Like they start with one room, they build one room, they take a small amount of loan and build a small room, rent it. And by getting that rent, they repay the installment and get bigger amount of loan. And then they build another room or another room. And by this way, they gradually, from small business, they are now running a big business. Then there are store vegetable business. They grow their own vegetable and sell it to the market. Tailoring business, like can you imagine, they take only at the very beginning with $5, they just bought a sewing machine and they started sewing clothes. And that was the only investment they did, because the customer, they brought their own clothes and they gave them the design and everything. They will just sew it and give it to them, and that is the service charge they're getting. That's their money they're receiving, that's their revenue. And by this way, they are earning profit and repay the loan and get, maybe if they need, they get more loan. Then there are livestock business, fruit and vegetables, poultry, and other renting business, like there are rickshaw, there are easy bike and everything. So that is very cheap to buy. So they don't ride the rickshaw or something. They give it to another person and get the daily rent from them. So they are doing other businesses like honey business, making honey and everything. So as I said, nowadays, they're even sometimes I ask my student here, like, what do you think? How much money do you need to start a business? They said $5,000. No, they'll start with 10,000, 20,000, like a small business. I said, no, less than that. They, oh my God, 5,000 maybe, but with $5,000, what will we start? But when I said 50 or less, they said, no way, it's not possible. But yes, it's possible, because there are two things. They start with a very small business. Another thing, the dollar value, if you convert it to taka, like this standard is like nowadays, $1 is 100 taka or a bit more than that. So $50 is like 5,000 taka for them. And like with that, they can buy a couple of chicken and start doing their business, or maybe one kettle, one cow or one goat, and start doing their business. Okay, so when I talked to different participants, one participant said she took like only $7, like, which is on that time 500 taka, and started her business now, she has taken $175. That's her loan right now. But like as she repay the loan properly on time, gradually the loan amount increased. Okay. So like some of the participants, they change their business from one business to another business, maybe from a small business to a big one. Like here, the participant 17, that was very interesting. Like when like this Grameen, that is a big group of industries. So Grameen phone, when they started bringing the phone in Bangladesh, mobile phone, so it was very rare to have mobile phone on everyone's hand because it was very expensive. So they used to give their like member, those who took loan from Grameen Bank. So they take that mobile phone, Grameen phone, and like they used to charge their neighbors, their families, their friends, like you can talk from my phone and give me some money. That was kind of business. Okay. So it was a very popular business and very profitable business because they didn't have to pay that much like return to Grameen Phone or company, but they are charging, say, for example, they're charging $7, but they had to get, sorry, 7 taka, but they had to give like 1, 2, or 3 taka. So it was a very profitable business, but like when the mobile phone became cheaper and available, then people didn't come to them. So that's why they stopped doing that business and moved to another business. Like participant 17, she moved to room renting business. So microfinancing, it's as we know, there are financial benefits and it's easy to get the fund. And the main thing is no collateral, because if you are really poor, how can you provide the collateral? So that's the main thing. Like you don't have to provide any collateral, and like you have to repay the loan, repay the installment weekly basis. And there are different types of loan, like you name it, they will provide you. Like even cattle loan, vegetable loan, like other than normal loan, there are like different kinds of, even there is a one loan named latrine loan. Like if you want to build a latrine restroom, okay, because you know in rural area this is also something that they need. So sometimes what they do, they first build a room, and then like with that room, if they want to build a restroom, they take the loan, latrine loan, and build that. And then gradually, maybe for 3, 4 room, those room members share only one latrine or restroom. Then like gradually they make more rooms, they build more rooms, more latrines. So you can understand that that's a kind of loan. Okay. And usually the loan they give annual basis, but sometimes if you are a good customer, you get after 6 months, you can also apply for more loan. And the banker of the Grameen Bank, they do business in a different way. Like we know that if we need some service, we have to go to the bank. But here, the banker comes to you. Like there are Grameen Bank point center in different rural areas. So on that center, the ladies who lives in that area, they comes and meet on that center every week. And there they do the Grameen like banking business. They give their installments, those who will take loan, and the Grameen banker, they give them lots of support and like how to do the business, or they ask them whether they're facing any challenges or something. So location is a very important thing and different in this Grameen Bank. And if will you get the loan or not, the decision will be taken within a very short time, within a week. So there are like advantage, like psychological factors. Those members who come, those ladies, they become like a friend. And, even they support each other. Okay, you are busy today. Okay, give me the money. I'll give it to the banker. Okay, so, okay, you don't have money this week. Fine, I'll give it, I will give it to the member, sorry, the banker on behalf of you. You will give me later, no problem. Like this way, they are all the members of that center. Like maybe in one center, there are 30, 40 members. They become a big family. They become a big friend group. Okay. And like now, if you are the member or you are doing business, you are an entrepreneur, it's like a status symbol. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm doing this business. So these ladies are really very enthusiastic, and I really enjoy talking to them. Okay, and even like I have seen that mother brought their daughter, mother-in-law brought their daughter-in-law, aunt bring their niece here, and they shared all these values and everything. And the main thing is their standard of living. Of course, it has increased or developed a lot. So when I asked them, do you face any unique obstacles? They said there are obstacles. Most of them are like those obstacles that men will also face, like doing the business because we are not experienced and everything. Okay, so like we had to um, by doing, we have learned. Okay, so that was their policy, learning by doing and meeting with lots of people. So there are obstacles that men and women, both of them, face. But there are some, of course, unique obstacles like participant 24. She said, like, I'm working inside the local market. So as a woman, she had to cover, like, in Bangladesh or in Islamic countries, they wear hijab and others. So she felt, sometimes she felt uncomfortable. That's why she started covering her so that she can do business properly. Then another participant said, my uh, family members, they were not that much supportive. So but now, those who were against them, don't do this business, and this is not right for women to go outside and do the business and everything. Now, those family members, they respect them. Okay, you are doing this business and now you have money and everything, they respect. Okay, they come to them. So that is very interesting part. So I asked them, what do you think? How much successful you are? This is perceived success rate because it's just, I have asked them. It's not that I did some quantitative uh, analysis and come up with this success rate. Most of them said, we are very successful. Whatever we have thought, we have achieved that. Okay, so even more than that, we have achieved. We didn't think that we will become a big entrepreneur one day. But yeah, so like you can see that 14 participants, that they are their success rate is 10 on 10. Just one participant said, I would say 5, because yes, I'm running my business, but I have more ideas and I want to grow more. So she said, I would say 5. But that is not bad. Like, she's a young participant and she just started, and she is really, I think she will be a great entrepreneur one day. So you can see that there is a perceived congruity between these female gender roles and entrepreneurial roles. So these women entrepreneurs, they can and able to run their business in a manner that allows them to also fulfill their family and social roles, and allowing for participations of congruity. And this is with the help of microfinancing. So this microfinancing project, and even from our PSDI, we are going to start this microfinancing. So this is very helpful for rural people, okay, because they don't want a lot of money, because they don't have that big business ideas. They want small amount of money, okay, because they are not experienced, or they are not that much confident when they become can run their business like after 2-3 years, then they become confident, and then they want more money and they can do big businesses. Okay, it's not possible for them to, because to start a big business all of a sudden. It's not that they have studied MBA or they have family background or something like that. So that's why um, as from our partners in Sustainable Development International, we are also from the money we are getting, we are also going to start microfinancing. So that's about my research and about this women entrepreneur. So thank you.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I mean, 27, was it $27 to 45 women? That's crazy.
Was 2 women, yeah.
And a 96% or 98% return, that's crazy. And I just want to point out, thank you, Raheem. That's so interesting. And we're so grateful to Muhammad Yunus for realizing this and making it such a effective way of empowering women. And I'll just point out that as we begin, our social workers in Bangladesh begin their work with an extremely poor family, we start out giving them a grant, a small grant. So because of their poverty, they could not repay a loan. So we start out with a grant and then work into loans. And so it's a very popular, it's a very popular way. It's not taking advantage of them at all. It's helping them to build assets, and the obstacles you talked about when I saw that list, I thought, women here in the US have some of those same obstacles. People in poverty, sometimes when they try to better themselves, their family is resentful, and that's so sad. But which just underscores the point that we're all the same. No matter where we live, we face the same challenges and opportunities, which is what we're excited to provide. So thank you for that. That was beautiful. Dr. Shaw, as I mentioned earlier, Pinky, I love Pinky, the name. It's great. I'm getting ready to have a granddaughter, and I'm going to try to talk them into naming her Pinky. She joined the PEP board of directors just last year, so she's still getting familiar with the details of the work. However, she understands the importance of it, and we welcome her sharing her experience in making our work even more effective. So, Dr. Shaw.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Thanks for inviting me and giving me the floor. Yeah, that's really true that it was a great opportunity for me to join this association and to join hands with PEP, and I got to know Nancy. Like Rihan also said that she met her in this type of program, and for me also, I joined during COVID time a program which was on the same day, 2 years back, I guess. From that day, I was really very much fascinated about the work of PSDI, and I myself, Pinky Shah, I'm in academia from last more than 20 years, and I'm from India, but I married a Bangladeshi staying in Dhaka from last many years. Apart from my academic, apart from my academic career, I was also very much interested in environment, women empowerment, and so on. So long back, I should say, when I was in my previous university, the Eastern University in Bangladesh, when we left the university and joined another university, many of us, so that time this idea came, why not starting a women association to have the networking and to work for the women, because I feel like even if whatever position we are having now, we are really privileged and we should work something and we should give something back to the community. And this was very strong in me. So from that time, we started one of the association, and this was actually the group initiative, and I took the lead there in 2008 in Bangladesh, and we started Professional Women Association. I will not say we are very strong. We try to do some work for the women of all sphere, rural, urban, everybody. And most of our programs we try to run online. And this is great that today we are here in this occasion of International Women's Day. And the theme of this is, very much digital, and we are in digital platforms. So I hope that that's a great opportunity for all of us. So from there, I was really looking forward to work for the women in a bigger sphere, I should say. So luckily, Nancy got my interest, and I got introduced to the PEP in Bangladesh. And apart from my professional women association activities, I'm tagged with them, and I tried working for them. Not much, but yeah, I think I could do much with the help of theirs. So that's about me. So it simply fascinates me. Thank you very much, Nancy, for inviting me here.
So glad to have you. And already, through our conversation and planning for this, she's had some fabulous ideas on questioning what they're doing and what, it is a challenge. And we here at PSDI, we ask a lot of questions, but we don't understand the culture the way that they do, of course, and the work. So we don't question how they're doing what they do. We just ask them for information. So we're glad to have people like Pinky on their board, and to know them, so that we can be assured those questions are being asked, and the work is, really remarkable. So thank you, and we welcome your ideas at any cost. And thank you too for forming the Professional Women's Association over there. You're absolutely right about how those of us that have been given much have much to give. So we don't take that responsibility lightly. Now, Raiheen visited the area last year. She got to go home finally. The pandemic has really slowed us down in our travel, right? And so it's been since 2016 that I got to go to Bangladesh, and I can't wait to go back, because now I'll know what I'm seeing and looking for. But she was able to finally go back over last year to see her family and friends. And she visited some of the areas where we serve. And as she mentioned, there are districts, much like countries, only they're much smaller. I always love to point this out. People are just amazed by this. Bangladesh is a country about the size of the state of Iowa or Illinois, yet it holds half the population of the United States. And it is divided into, 60 some odd districts, much like our states are divided into counties. So it's a very small, very densely populated country, but it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. You feel the crowdedness in the city, but not in the rural areas, and that's where we serve, in the rural areas, because that's where the people are living in extreme poverty in ways that we can really serve. So Raiheen, you want to share something with us about your visit last summer and what you saw of the specific work that we do?
Sorry,
Yes.
yeah.
Can you see the slide? Yes. So yes, I went to Bangladesh, and I got an opportunity to visit the head office in Dhaka. This is the board of the head office, like from down from where I took the picture. It wasn't the straight, but okay, just ignore that. I'm not a great photographer. Okay, so. But this is the great thing, I met them. So Mijan and Mujibur, who works there, and Dr. Pinky Shah was with me. So I introduced her with them, and she discussed, and she saw what they are doing there. So this,
Mizan, I'll just point out, if you can go back, Mizan is on the left is the deputy director, so he's the assistant director. Mujibur is the executive director of PEP, and this is his second time working for PEP. So he's worked a total of over 15 years with the organization, and Mizan has been there about the same time. So we're very impressed that people stay, right? It's really important. I just wanted to point that out. Sorry, go ahead.
yes, please go with me. So this is a notice board. I have found lots of pictures there because like there's a pay program, like ministers and others, they came, they saw their program, how they're running and what they're doing. So this notice board was actually really great because here I have got lots of information from here. You can see this is a part of that notice board. You can see Nancy went to Bangladesh. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I'm there with Virginia Klein, who was my predecessor. She was with PSDI for many years, and she took me over there and
okay.
was my hostess. Yes,
Okay.
beautiful.
So he is Bill. He is there, like he's actually working there and build this thing and um like uh accumulate or gather everyone there to work. So he's really a nice person and very interesting person, and we really enjoyed his company there. Then I went to one of the site in Kochua Chatpur because I wanted to see what actually they are doing in different districts. So I visited their office, and there are like the PEP office, and then there are a couple of like room for doing the training and everything. So I met three of them there, and there were other people but I just got to take
Yeah,
picture with them. Okay, because they came to see off me to the car, so I
right.
just took a picture with them. Now
Yes,
I
we have
think,
about there are 50 staff members of PEP, and I think about 10 of them are in the office in Dhaka, and the rest of them are scattered out in amongst the other four districts that we serve. But all of them are trained to be social workers, not with a degree in social work, but they are trained to provide the services, to have the relationships, and so these are three of the social workers in the field. They do the heavy lifting um,
yeah,
of making sure that they are serving the right people, that they are giving them what they need and helping them continue. The great thing that what really makes this work is the continued support of the social worker throughout their journey out of poverty. It could take 5 years, it could take 10 years. It just depends. But that social worker is there with them, checking in on them on a monthly basis, making sure that their needs are met and that their assets are growing. It's really what makes it work. So we're very proud of them. And
yes, and they run a school for the kids for that
yes,
rural area. So
yes,
they're really doing great work, but they need more money because like now there's the inflation and others, so they had to to cope up and to pay the to do more great thing. They need
yes,
more money. That's what
yes,
we have lots of great donors who really understand the situation of Bangladesh, that rural area situation. And yes, so I got
yes,
to go to one of that office. And here, maybe Nancy would like to
yes.
discuss about this.
So, yes, so as Raheem mentioned, if you look at our website, you'll see we divide our work into four categories. And the first one is home or basic needs. And so when we begin to visit with a family, when we identify a family as really being having no assets, no income, not enough food to eat, we start out by meeting their basic needs. So if they're malnourished, which they probably are, we give them food. If their hut leaks every time it rains because they have a thatch roof, we make a tin roof. Many ways we help them just gain their strength and in order to be able to work. And then the social worker and the family together discuss all the opportunities that are available in their area for them to start earning more income. So this is Chinu Rani and her husband, and they have 3 children. They did not have enough income coming in to care for their family. So the PEP team offered to work with them, and they were very excited about that. They started working with them in 2018, and they started out giving them some fruit trees, which are very inexpensive. They help them plant them, show them how to care for them. They give vegetable seeds are like gold, so they can build or they can cultivate a little vegetable garden, which provides nutritious food for the family. Plus, they can sell extra at the market and earn some income. And then we gave them use of 1/6 of an acre of land to cultivate some rice. As Rahin said, agriculture is a big, it provides a lot of income to families and food. I don't think they export a lot of rice, but they grow a lot and consume a lot of rice and vegetables. So that's, very healthy for the family. And then a cow, we gave them a cow to raise. And that's livestock is a very popular way for people to increase their income, either goats or ducks or cows. They prefer cows because they provide the biggest amount of profit. They grow them up for a year and feed them and take care of them and sell them and have profit. The social workers talk with them about saving some of the income that they receive from selling the asset and then using the rest of the money to buy more assets. And that's how it works. We gave them a total of $350 worth of support through these different programs. And they are just 2 years away from graduating out of extreme poverty. They are raising their 3rd cow. They now have 2/3 of an acre of land that they are using to grow crops and earn income. And of course, they still are getting income from their fruit and vegetable gardens. And Chinu has gained enough confidence through this process that she's now the cashier of the village's management committee. So I guess that's an informal structure that they have over there. And so the unnoticed factor about people living in poverty is the social and emotional effect it has on them, their feeling of self-worth, and not being able to provide for their family is really impacted. And that's something that we build along with that. And then that last picture there, I wanted to point out on the right with her praying. So she is a Hindu, which less than 10% of the population is Hindu. But she was able to build this little place where she could pray after all of this. And that is, I just included that picture because I thought that was very special. That she's so grateful, you can tell, for what she has, and they are grateful, and we're grateful to those that have a heart for serving people half a world away. And then the next family I wanted to share about was Kusuma and her son Rabi. I'm probably butchering the names. I'm very sorry. I can't speak Bangla. I can't even try. So you may have seen the story about her in our newsletters if you're receiving our newsletter. Her husband died, and left her family immediately in trouble, because he was the breadwinner. So life was very difficult. And then our PEP folks discovered her and her dilemma. And the goal, anytime there's a child in the picture, is to keep them in school. And as Raheen said, we have 42 early childhood development centers in the areas that we serve, so that the little ones can get the basic reading and writing and arithmetic education, and be ready to go to the government schools in the 3rd grade. That's a very important part of our work, and mostly also because they get food at school, and that's very important. So the PEP team visited them, they had conversation, they found out what their needs were, and one of the first things they did was provided books for Rabbi to be able to go to school. They gave them food to eat because that was a basic need, that they didn't have enough food, and now they can manage 3 meals a day. They gave her a small a calf to raise. They helped renovate her hut. And in her own words, she said, "Now Rabbi goes to school every day. Now Rabbi does not remain sad. He is happy now. There are many other orphan children like my son. If you can help them too, those children will also become and stay happy. If you help them," she said, "God will be happy. Right now, we are doing much better and happier than before. Thank you." So these are just 2 stories out of thousands that we could tell about the difference even $5 for vegetable seeds can make in the life of a family. And what a difference it makes when women are empowered in a family. It really is the best investment that can be made. So we appreciate your time today and wonder if anybody has any questions. Please don't hesitate. Otherwise, I just thank you for hearing and learning more about Bangladesh and the work that we're doing there. You know, a lot of people like to support work in their communities that they live, and that matters as well. And so when I'm asked, you know, that question, why do you work in Bangladesh when there's so much need here? And it's very clear to me that we have to help everyone. We have to do both. So we invite you to help us continue to serve more women using this wonderful holistic model. You can visit our website, and there's a big old donate button there, and you can donate. But mostly, I really encourage you to look for ways to lift women up that are around you. A smile is probably the easiest thing to give them, but look for ways to empower women in your world and in your community, and in Bangladesh.
Yes.
We can guarantee that your investment in our work will have a huge return, as you can see by the families and the smiles. So again, I want to thank you, Dr.
Excuse me,
Shaw
Nancy,
and
just
Dr.
for a second. Sorry to
Yes,
interrupt. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yes,
had a few things about the PEP, so could you please give me 5 to 7 minutes to
yes,
share, if it's
yes.
possible?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
thank you very
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
much. Go ahead. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So as Nancy said, like they're working great, and this is very much about the activities of PEP, which is working in Bangladesh. I believe like most of us know about Bangladesh. But before that, as if we are here for the occasion of International Women's Day, I would like to say why we celebrate this, because we know that worldwide, yet there are many women who are not getting the equal rights, they're not getting equal job offers, and they're discriminated from the wage point of view. There are many countries who are not giving them, equal justice even. So women who are the half of the humanity, they ought to be treated with dignity, and we should respect them. So why we are here? Because we want to we want to make people aware about some of the inequalities which the women face around the world. And we want to address those inequalities. That's why we are here to celebrate International Women's Day, and we want to raise those issues. So as if it's about Bangladesh, where the PEP is working, and Bangladesh is located in the northeastern part of the South Asia. Bangladesh is one of the fastest growing economies, and it is yet having 6% growth rate, which is very stable. And one of the very interesting thing is now currently the demography of Bangladesh is like that, where half of the population, more even I should say, is of women. And women are heavily concentrated on the unpaid family work, which is really a sad story because of some social, cultural, and other barriers. And gender inequality is persistent in most of the places in the labor market as well. But the good thing is that the Bangladesh government has recognized the empowerment of women as one of the basic goals to end the poverty. And you can see that the 4% labor force has increased to 35.6% in 2016, which is a great achievement. And the great story is the ready-made garment, which is one of the very successful achievement of the country, has created millions of jobs for the women especially. And in this pandemic, Bangladesh economy also sustained greatly. These are some of the pictures which just Rian has shared with the PEP, and we also on behalf of PROVA, Professional Women Association, work with the PEP for the street children and the women. So I was just saying that PEP is one of the non-profit organization at the national level of Bangladesh, and it works in the 4 areas of Bangladesh: Bogra, Netrokona, Chandpur, and Kishorganj. It works with the help of its holistic approach and an integrated development model, which is very much people-focused, not the program-focused. They target the extreme poor people of the rural population, and they try to help them with the social and economic aid. And their development partners are the hardcore poor, the landless farmers, the children of theirs, the homeless people, the unemployed people, the marginal and small farmers, traditional artisans, and women. Yes, women. And one thing which I would like to say, women development is very important because they have some special needs, and we need to develop their skills. We need to give them skill security. So PEP model is the all-round development model. They try to find out very basic poor families. They try to give them different types of help, because we know that if the family is happy, if the woman is happy, children will grow very nicely and they will feel good and they will do better in their life also. So they try to educate most of the families with some of the programs. They work with the long-term sustainability issues, and they try that their children should get enrolled in some of their programs. So PP tries to give them small grants, land grants, livestock rearing grants, nutritional supply, health supplies, education support, and some other things also. And they also try to recruit young women, yes, with the men. They train them, they employ them, and they try to help them because they will help them, the poor community overall. PEP works for the promotion of women, their leadership, and they also try to develop some of the small businesses which are run by the group of women, those who locally make soap or snack for the local sale. And you will be happy to know that there are 7,600 families who got this grant in their business. They also work for education, I just said. They offer the very poor families if they collect a small room, because they run the one-room school where the children of these families, they get the education, and they run those schools with the help of the managing committee, and those managing committees are run by the mothers of those kids. So see, each and every sphere they try to touch with their programs. PP also requires the women, they educate the women as a teacher so that they can also do rest of the work of the school. So I just said that those kids who take admission in those schools, there, they also try to see that the girl child should be in between 55 to 60%, which is a really a great step, I should say, because we want to help them from very grassroots. There are 1,620 children who have received the education, and they also try to help them to get further admission in the government schools. So that's something which we really need. Only not this, they also try to provide them the shelter, because shelter gives a family the security, mental and physical, and the women who needs the security up to the higher extent with the children. So this is again one of the project which the PEP works. So these are the empowered women. I would like to share their stories because their stories make them the heroes, and we want to inspire other women as well. Josna, Kulsum, Yasmin Akhtar, Chinu Rani, Ajima Akhtar, Sharifa, Amina, and others. So these are the women. A great hand of applause for them. Josna with her 3 daughters. She also faced the problem after her husband's sudden death, but she got the small grant to buy the duck, and she's now selling the eggs of those ducks every time, and she has a future plan to buy a cow. So she is dreaming big, and PEP is helping her to dream big. Why not? Yasmin Akhtar. She's also the unfortunate lady who lost her husband in a lighting, but PEP came to know about her skill. She had the stitching skill, and they helped her in buying a sewing machine. They also helped her in buying the fabric, and now she's running the business, and she's earning $1 to $2 per day and running her family, running her children life in a very comfortable manner. Johra, who was one of the students of PEP education program, now she's a teacher, a great leader from the program itself. Kulsum Rabbi, Sharifa Akhtar, who got the blanket because she was not able to afford that with her petty income. Also lost her husband in a lighting. I mean, that strong lighting. She was also running the family of hers, but
I don't know if she's freezing up for you all, but she's freezing up a little bit. That's great information. I'm so glad that Pinky was able to get that in. I'm sorry. That was all perfect information. Wonderful stories. So again, I just want to thank you all for your support and your interest in these beautiful women and women all across the world. Congratulations to each one of you for your successes. We hope you have a beautiful International Women's Day. Blessings to all of you. Thank you.